What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of the Frisco Report. It's a special of specials. Mike, what's going on, bro? Good to be back with you.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Frisco Report. Joe, welcome back. It feels good being in this box with that right there, and with you right there. It just feels so good, Joe.
That's what it is, man. So we're back to it. Dude. So got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about in today's episode, Mike. We're going to talk about the top 10 worst moves by Jerry Jones. All right. Afterwards, if we have time, we'll discuss the latest on the Cowboys coaching search and this sort of thing. But for right now, Mike, you ready to do this top 10 on Jerry Jones?
You want to give your number 10, then I'll give my number 10, and we'll bounce off that?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So I'll start with number 10, Dak's contracts. All right. I think this earns a top 10 for me because just the way that he's handled it, waited the last minute on both of them, and it backfired enormously. And especially on this last one, I think he really screwed us on this one here with the second contract on Dak Prescott, $90 million towards this coming season. Ridiculous, dude. That's my number 10 to kick this thing off.
My number 10, Joe, is them drafting Taco Charlton over TJ Watt. You look at that draft, you look at the landscape, you look at the careers. Jerry Jones fumbled, drafted Taco. All right. We could have had TJ Watt paired up with Micah. Could have done a lot of good things on this defense. Probably carried this mediocre offense a lot longer. But Jerry Jones, the GM, did not pull the trigger on TJ Watt. They decided, Joe, to go with Taco.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Terrible move indeed. Top 10 there. I agree with that one there, Mike. My number 9 worst move under Jerry Jones, drafting Kelvin Joseph in the second round. All right. Makes the list here. Drafted him in the second round, complete bust from the very get-go. All the red flags were there, you know. Choking coaches in college. They still decided to draft this guy. Out here in drive-by shootings, somebody gets killed. Allegedly he wasn't involved or the shooter, but he was there. So what a terrible pick that was, Mike. That's my number 9 on this list.
I like that. I like that a lot. My number 9, Joe, as a general manager, you're supposed to put the best players in the situation. Yes, it's a lot on coaching too. But Jerry Jones allowed this to happen. Keeping Romo as a snap placeholder for field goals, Joe. You guys remember back in 2006, Romo, a starting quarterback. It's rare that happens, but they kept Romo at that duty, and we know what happened in 2006 in Seattle, Joe. Bosch fumble. Romo tried to run it in. He didn't make it. Jerry Jones allowed his starting quarterback to hold those snaps.
That's a good one. That wasn't on my list, but that is a good one there, Mike. what a heartbreak that was. Mike, my number 8th worst move here under Jerry Jones was pretty recent. Pretty recent. Trading a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo. All right. We're gonna go back-to-back seasons now without having a 4th round pick. That window from the 3rd to the 5th round is enormous. Lots of time flying out the window. And we're gonna do it again. All right. Jerry said, let's run it back. Let's trade for a camp body. He didn't do crap, dude. I don't know why he made that move, dude. Terrible.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, we appreciate the super chat. We're gonna get back to it. We're gonna get to that super chat as soon as we're done with our countdown here. We're moving pretty fast, actually. My number 8, Joe, is all the 2nd round gambles. All right, all in one, Joe. I'm talking Randy Gregory, Kelvin Joseph, Bruce Carter. You know, Sean Lee had those injury scares, and he wasn't healthy as we would hope. Just a lot of those Schoonmaker picks. And I mean, the last time they really hit on a 2nd round pick was Trayvon Diggs, right? All those 2nd round gambles, Joe, fall into number 8 for me as a general manager. Jerry, you have to get better with your scouting department, and you can't be taking those risks. It sets your team back so far, Jerry.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There's something about the 2nd round. They just do some foolishness almost every time. The only thing that they might have hit on was D-Law, terrible. I don't know why they do it. My number 7th on this top 10 of worst moves by Jerry Jones, getting a 5th round pick for Amari Cooper. What in the face that was, and then later the Browns turn around and trade him to the Bills and get a better pick. It was just terrible. I mean, you should have kept him. It was a disaster, bro. A 5th rounder for Amari Cooper. Pennies on the dollar, bro. Terrible.
Right. And you can only get that 5th round pick, Jerry, is because you don't know how to manage the cap. So they settled for that low of a pick because they wanted to trade off those cap dollars. That's typical Jerry right there. That's a good one, Joe. I like it. My number 7, Joe, keeping Jason Garrett as a head coach for 9 seasons. All right. 8-8 after 8-8 after 8-8. I think Jason Garrett had more 8-8s than we have 88s as Cowboys. All right. There was no reason to keep this project as long as Jerry did, Joe. Mine is keeping Jason Garrett way past his overdue time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, that was a bad one there. They missed on some top flight coaches in that window just to keep crossing fingers on them. Yeah, that's a good one there, Mike. My number 6 on this top 10, Mike, kind of coming in the similar type of discussion, hiring Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, before hiring your head coach, Wade Phillips. Who does this crap? Only Jerry Jones, bro. Only Jerry Jones. Yeah, it was already doomed from the start. Who does that? Why didn't you let Wade Phillips pick his own guy, a capable head coach who's been a head coach and successful in this league? What could have happened, man? That was stupid.
Wasn't good, Joe. My number 6, 1993. Letting Emmett hold out for as long as Emmett did. 0-2. Yes, they won a Super Bowl that year, but he didn't take care of Emmett when Emmett wanted to get taken care of. Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame. You're supposed to pay the man. You started the season 0-2. You didn't take care of Emmett when he was supposed to get taken care of. That's my number 6, Joe.
Good one. I remember that very, very well. Number 5, Mike. You kind of touched on this one already on your list. It's good to see it on mine as well. Passing on TJ Watt and drafting Taco Charlton. One of the all-time worst moves in Cowboys history. That was terrible, man.
Wasn't good. Wasn't good, Joe.
No.
My number 5. Trading for Roy Williams, a first, second, sixth, and a 2010 seventh. He wound up with 1,324 yards and 13 touchdowns in 40 games, Joe. A lot of draft equity gone for a player like Roy Williams. Did not make the impact they thought he would make.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a theme here with Jerry and wide receivers. Mike, my number 4 on this top list, drafting Randy Gregory in the second round. There was a lot of other better talent there available, and you saw the name falling, and the Cowboys were still there, and I was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. This guy's going to be suspended, miss a bunch of games. And what happened? Missed a bunch of games, suspended left and right.
Yep.
You know, terrible pick, man. We wasted a lot of time there at defensive end. He could have helped us if we had a better defender there. What a waste.
Yeah, we wasted a lot of time on him. And then when it came to give him his other contract after all those chances, he gave them the middle finger for some contract lingo and went to the Broncos. And then he just went to, I think, was it the Miami Dolphins or something, some Florida team, and just left him hanging. So typical Randy Gregory will never change there, Joe. My number 4, Joe. The Joey Galloway trade. 2 first-round picks. Someone put it in the comment section. That is my number 4, Joe. He only winded up with 2,341 yards in 4 years and 12 touchdowns. Just really didn't keep that traction and that consistency he had. Was it with the Lions? I think it was. Just never carried over.
Yeah, never carried over. Yeah, that was terrible, man. Mike, my number 3 here is when the Cowboys had the chance to draft future Hall of Fame wide receiver Randy Moss, and they drafted Greg Ellis instead. Greg Ellis, good player, productive, but to pass on Randy Moss, another one of these TJ Watt type of deals where you just let an enormous talent fly by you. Terrible.
Dude, that no need to say no more. That was my number 3 too. 1998 draft, not drafting Randy Moss, instead drafting Greg Ellis. That was my number 3, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My number 2 on this list, Mike, we're getting closer to what we all know number 1 is, but my number 2, you hit on it. 2 first-round picks for Joey Galloway, in a time when this team really needed to reload on talent. They overpaid, and he was injured back-to-back season with what was it, Achilles or torn knees? It was like back-to-back. Like, it was just crazy, dude. First game out the gate, it was terrible. I mean, there was no value there for Joey Galloway to top it off. Like, terrible move.
Terrible.
It was desperate, and it set the Cowboys back. It really hurt them further down, number 2.
Yeah. Joe, that's a good one. I had that on mine as number 4. My number 2, extending Dak Prescott an hour before game time. If you knew you weren't going to keep Mike or you had reservations on keeping Mike, you should have let the pair leave together. Sayonara. You could have reset the salary cap. You could have reset the head coach. You could have reset a new era for the quarterback position. But instead, the next head coach that comes in here is going to have to cater, is going to have to keep working on a 9-year vet in Dak Prescott. The second biggest mistake ever by Jerry Jones was extending Prescott to that second extension.
Yeah, those Dak contracts were terrible, especially that last one. Just that's gonna set us back, man. It's gonna mess us up, right? Number 1, Mike. Jerry Jones basically getting rid of Jimmy Johnson, whether it's a firing or whatever they want to call it. Walked him out the door, replaced him with Barry Switzer, and then on top of that, Mike, waited decades to induct him into the Ring of Honor. It was disgraceful from there all the way to last season. It was the way he handled Jimmy Johnson from there to the induction. Disgraceful. Number one for me.
Joe, 2 out of 3. We had them in the same spot. Bam! Right there. Jimmy Johnson, number 1 for me. You could have made Super Bowl appearance after Super Bowl. I can't tell you we're going to win them all, but I guarantee you we would have been there. We would have been there more times than what we did.
Yeah, man. I mean, it would have been, nobody would have broke that record. We probably would have gone a 4-peat, and then even some more. It was that real. Even with the advent of free agency, Jimmy knew how to build a roster. He knew how to evaluate talent. He knew how to trade, Mike. And that's what Jerry doesn't know how to do. He'll overpay, or he won't get anything in return. I get scared when I hear about Jerry making some sorts of trades for a player or giving a player away. I don't want anything to do with it.
100%. No, and Jerry's been chasing that Jimmy Johnson success that it's been leading to all these errors. I mean, I was following the chat. One of my audible mention was Jerry staying as a GM. Jerry's so, egotistical he can't even fire himself. And then someone just said the trade up for Morris Claiborne. He wasn't even a 30-man visit, Joe, when we traded up for Morris Claiborne. Patrick Peterson played on the other side at LSU, and they thought they were getting Patrick Peterson 2.0, but what you got was a Ford Taurus on 3 wheels, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, and this is ever since Jimmy was out the door, like we're talking about, and we came up with 10, but there's other good ones like that one mentioned about Claiborne. What a good one that was to be on this list. Could have very well been high on the list.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That guy was terrible, man. That was a terrible, terrible draft pick. Goodrich in the second round as well. He went out here drunk driving, killing people. You got Josh Brent killing people, then they bring him back as a scout. I mean, there's a lot of crap here that Jerry does. It's just very questionable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't even turn around without scratching your head on something Jerry's Joe. And the older he gets, it's looking like the worse it's getting, Joe. Like he's fumbled these last 3 drafts, dare I say. He's fumbled the last 3 free agencies. And your candle is burnt out. I mean, you look at the opponents for next year, Joe, going into, and if we keep the same recipe that we did, Joe, we're not winning. I mean, we're not winning. But Mike sent that super chat earlier in the show. He said, "I don't want Kellen Moore. If we end up hiring him, this team will be screwed for years to come. Kellen Moore is the worst possible hire. He's a complete yes man." I'll let you touch on that one, Joe.
Yeah, let's open it up. Let's open it up here to the latest on what we're hearing, what's being said on the hiring aspect of this, right? We need a head coach. Kellen Moore on the list, obviously. I'm 1,000% not on board with this. I just don't see him as a leader of men. He looks goofy. He looks like a bookworm. Are you telling me he's going to go to these defenders, the defensive guys? I mean, all right, let's go. Dude, I just I don't see it, man. I see the freaking dude from, oh man, what was that movie called? That nerdy dude.
Napoleon Dynamite or what?
Oh man, I don't want any part of him, man. We will be screwed for years if he's named the head coach, bro. It would just be pure insanity, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I said this on Fifth Quarter Cowboys show. Big shout out to Fifth Quarter Cowboys.
Napoleon Dynamite. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, that's why I asked you, Napoleon.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And if Kellen Moore's hired, and I tweeted this today too. I said, say bye to accountability. say bye to any ounce of culture we got left in that locker room. I mean, you really thought, I mean, look at the upkeep that he got brought up with. Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett. He had one stint with the Chargers, and then he went to the Eagles, and the Eagles said, "You're not using your playbook here. We have a playbook in place that you're going to use. We just need you to manage it better." Saquon is making him look like a genius. All right, if it wasn't for Saquon, the team wouldn't be the Eagles team. They can't even pass the football, Joe. So Kellen Moore is getting this credit because of one running back. Because of one running back, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading that they were like 29th in passing or something. That's terrible. We can't have that here. We can't have 29th in passing. No. He's not a prodigy. He's not this offensive genius, offensive mind. He's not that. It was manufactured. Jerry created it, you know? Who takes a backup quarterback, third or fourth on your roster, and then a couple seasons later, you're OC, you know? And the word on the street, Mike, was the previous hiring cycle, he didn't do well in interviews. He didn't sell any of these guys, and nobody else is asking for him for interviews.
Because it's Kellen flipping Moore. Just imagine him trying to be serious with this stupid haircut with his hair to the side.
Yeah.
Standing there with that goofy-ass smile. And you're sitting across from that. Absolutely not, Joe. Absolutely not.
Yeah, they can't bring him in here. And I honestly, man, looking at this situation, you know, they've talked about Leslie Frazier, Salah, these guys, you know, whether they're Rooney guys or whatever, you know, I think it's Kellen Moore and, you know, Dion. I think Kellen Moore is probably Stephen Jones and Dion is probably Jerry Jones. Who's going to win that battle, I think, is what this is going to come down to. I honestly feel that this is where this is at. There's going to be some internal battles here. Stephen Jones probably wants Kellen Moore. Jerry clearly wants Dion here. You know, so
yeah. This is I don't even know if I want Dion here. The next coach is just set up for failure. But someone asked about our opponents. Obviously, we got the divisional opponents: Giants, Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, Cardinals. Those are going to be home games, and then your away games will be obviously the division rivals, and then you got Bears, Broncos, Lions, Raiders, Jets, Panthers. 5 to 6 wins, Joe. Tops. If they don't do anything in the draft, if they don't do anything in free agency, and out of all the free agencies that we have, right, all the free agents that are up for grabs for the Cowboys, 14 of them are over 30 years old.
Yeah, they need to be jettisoned out of here. You know what I mean? You got guys that, it's a contract year. Let me show up. Yeah, there's a lot of these guys. I'm fine with them getting out of here. Now, the scary part, like I said, Mike, is filling those holes, you know, because they're going to go cheaper. They're going to go bargain bin, maybe name recognition, free agent kind of guys, former first and second round bust kind of guys. That's what McClay likes to do. And cross your fingers, man. You know, and then you got the draft. You know, they have like 3 fifths right now. The comp picks, you know, will add to that. We know what happens when the Cowboys have large draft classes. I mean, it's always a disaster.
Yeah.
I want a bunch of picks. No, you guys, you don't want a bunch of picks because it's like they get too cute, they get too complacent, or they don't. I don't know with them, but when we have large draft classes, those are the worst draft classes we have. So I'm hoping these guys are bundling packages, you know, doing something else. It's gonna be crazy, bro. Pretty much what I'm saying.
No, big shout out to Space Cowboy. If Deion Sanders comes in, at least get this shit entertaining as reality TV. With more, this shit's going to be like watching paint dry. If you can't win on the field, go win on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that seems where we're at. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be. We want to be on Hard Knocks, and then we want to be on Hard Knocks during the season. Now they have that now, right? We want to be on Hard Knocks NFC East. That's a new thing that they're doing now. The whole damn division of Hard Knocks. So it's like it's exploding. This Hard Knocks crap is getting crazy, right? They'll do that. They'll do. I mean, Jerry's doing the Netflix documentary. You
gonna watch that, Joe?
I'll definitely watch it. Prime, Amazon Prime. They're doing their. What was that crap that we were on that one season?
Oh, it was that stupid. Was it in season bull crap or something?
It was like all or nothing, and it ended up being nothing. What a sucky team, dude. Gosh, dude. When are we ever gonna win shit here, dude?
Well, somebody said we ain't gonna win nothing until Jerry's gone.
It's got to be the family, bro. I don't even think it's that. It's got to be. They got to sell the team, dude.
Steven Jones, 2017. Oh my god, dude, that felt like it was just yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Holy crap!
It's all about the trade. It's all about the brand,
Yeah.
It's all about those the Hollywood side. That's why we call it Hollywood.
Dallas, Hollywood, Texas.
Some of these players they get infected with it, man. They're So, yeah, man. We'll see what they do here. Other candidates on the list. They were talking about these offensive coaches from Washington, just to cater to Dak. I don't like that mentality either, man. You can't draft a coach for one player. It's got to be for the whole team. Oh, we want him here so he can fix Dak or improve. Dude, Dak, you can't improve him. He is what he is. It drives me nuts, bro. Like, oh, how can we improve him?
Dude, so since Mike McCarthy's out, I got a little rejuvenated because Mike McCarthy's out, and I started listening to 105.3 The Fan again. Only in the mornings, though, when I'm getting ready. I probably invest maybe 20 minutes at a time, Monday through Friday into that show. But during the times that I'm up and I'm doing stuff and I'm listening to it while I'm showering and stuff, dude, they've been dropping all this Mike McCarthy shenanigans, bro. Mike McCarthy wanted, and I've been talking about this for 3 years, Joe. Mike McCarthy wanted to put his offense in place, but Jerry Jones said, no, you have to use the Jason Garrett and Kellen Moore playbook because that benefits Dak the most. Dude, you know how many Cowboy fans I argued with about Dak Prescott cannot learn a new offense? Dak Prescott is not the future of the Cowboys. And now that they finally see that, Joe, the temperature for a lot of these people I argued with has changed. Why couldn't they see this crap last year? Maybe, just maybe, Dak wouldn't be here if so many fans weren't on board with them.
Yeah, that report was crazy. And that came from Jane Slater. And she was the one that discovered this. She asked them about it, and they said, no, the jargon didn't really change. This is still Garrett, Kellen Moore type of playbook. And she was taken aback, like, what the hell? Really? And so when I heard that report, dude, I was like, Mike's going to love this shit, dude. Like, he's right, bro. Like, you can't have that, man. I mean, it didn't have the West Coast, like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't have those West Coast feel to it, dude. It didn't. It was still Garrett shit, dude. Terrible.
No, because there was a play that Turpin did earlier in the year where he ran across the field. They hit him, and he ran in for a touchdown, and everyone got hyped. And I said, guys, we did the same thing with Cedric Wilson. That's a Cedric Wilson play. They just got some speed that can use it again because Cedric Wilson was pretty fast. So when Turpin was able to run that route, it worked. But it was the same route that we seen Cedric Wilson do time and time and time again. There was no creativity. That's why when you play the good teams, it's so obvious. A lot of these guys say they watch film, but I really doubt it because if you look at the concept of the offense, it's all been the same. It's all been the same. You could put a 15-minute video up of watching tape, but you picked out some plays and you did a little hippity-yah with it, and you made a little video, did some edits, and you put it on YouTube, and you look like this big film genius, but you're not. The editing tool made you look like a film genius. Because if you sit there, Joe, and you look at these films, why ain't nobody talking about this but us? Because we look at the film, Joe. We don't look at a couple of plays. Well, if you look here, they did the option route here, and they did this over here, and this little guy, and they just draw on the screen, act like they're building some big film guru. Joe, we've been talking about this, and we don't even put film up on the TV. Just take our word for it next time, people. That's all I'm saying. Watch your sources. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's 100% true. And then not only that, but you hear like the opposing team defenders say as much. You know, they're like, oh, we already know the plays. You know what I mean? Like, we know what they're going to do. And it's a lot of the times, sure the hell it looks like they do, man. I mean, it looks like, I mean, especially the last couple of years, it just looks like we are just struggling to matriculate the ball down the field. It looks like a struggle, like, oh, all right. Oh, gosh, we got 2 yards here. Gosh. Like, dude, like, offense sucks, dude.
Dude, it's not good. It's not good. It's so predictable. That's why we can never beat the good teams.
If we had
because they study the tape, they know what's going on. They know what's about to happen. They can read it. There was a thing that Dak did. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a signal or something. It was on Monday Night Football because the Mannings talked about it later that he always does. He said something. He did some type of signal. But they did the signal for like 4 years. Dak did it, said it, whatever, caught onto it, pick 6. And the Mannings are like, well, he's been doing that shit for years. He has never changed it.
I remember them saying that, dude. And the Mannings, they're very cerebral. They know a lot of good football. They know how to read offenses and defense. When they said that, I remember, dude, I was like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's true, but you know, we got a lot of film watchers that don't watch it, you know.
Yeah. It's gonna be a while. You know, we got the Senior Bowl coming up here, like I said, Mike, and I would prefer to have a staff in place here. You know what I mean? To scout what they like. But now we're really gonna depend on this front office scouting department that has gotten very complacent. Scary, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, like I said, Jerry has burnt that candle out, and now we're just scrambling at this point. Like there was a tweet today that, oh, Jerry's actually ahead of this more than we thought, than the public thinks. You know, Jerry's not a rookie to this. Jerry is a rookie to this.
They haven't. I mean, they've had 30 years and they still haven't figured it out.
You waited that long? You waited that long to get rid of Mike? You're a rookie at this.
It was terrible. They should have just like it should have been announced on Black Monday. That's it. You know, we're moving on.
Right. We can't even talk about the draft process until we know what coach is in here.
Well, not even during the season at one point, I was like, dude, just cut him now. Get ahead of it and get somebody in here. Oh, no, let's wait to the end of the season. Look what happened.
January 14th. January 14th.
We're still looking for somebody. Man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, and it's only gonna get worse, dude. It really is only gonna get worse before it gets better.
We'll see what they do here with the coach, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but I appreciate everybody coming in here. I know, Joe and I want to get back into the mix of things. All right, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss during this time. And, we're going to try to be as consistent as possible. We got a lot of stuff happening in life. Cowboys really knocked us down a couple of notches. Just can't stay motivated when you're out there just playing like hot dog crap. No one's giving effort. Why give effort when they don't give effort? That's how I say it, Joe.
Yeah, that's how this season affected me, honestly. You know what I mean? And I'm usually way ahead of the game in draft by now, but even that, just like for what, what we like, these guys come out here and end up picking sucky players for the most part, So,
Yeah.
But
Big shout out to Danny Savage.
It's gonna be fun. We're still gonna light it up with mock drafts, and we'll talk about the prospects and senior ball and everything like that. We're still gonna keep doing that. But let's see how it goes, Mike. I think that's all we have tonight. Let everybody know where they can find you at, my brother.
Hey, yeah, feels good to be back. Feels good seeing that logo above me, that logo above me, and that guy sitting beside me. So it's good to see everybody here. Space, Savage, Uncensored Cowboy, Mike Ballarama, thank you for that super chat. Jacob Jennings, everybody. I hope you liked the top 10 we gave you 20 F-ups that Jerry Jones did between me and Joe. So if you're on the replay, hit like, guys. The FriscoReport.com. Y'all can find some good information there. But no, Cowboys Corner _Cowboys Corner on Elon Musk's page. Cowboys Corner on Blue Sky. TikTok's getting banned, so I can't follow me on there. And then official Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes.
Well said indeed, man. That's where we're at, guys. And we'll see you for the next one, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, and you want to follow us on Podbean, because every once in a while, me and Joe will talk for like 2 hours on the phone, and we're like, dude, let's start a freaking podcast up. And we'll just do a random podcast and keep talking. So keep an eye out on that, because that could happen any day, anytime. Doesn't matter. It could happen.
We got to do that. We got to definitely do some more of that.
But no, guys, appreciate it. Joe, you got anything else to add?
That's it, bro. We'll see y'all for the next one, man. Peace, everybody.
Peace.